Exodus 28. And if you hear my family, I'm sorry. I've tried to re-record this so many times. You may hear squeaking. I'm, downstairs, they're upstairs. I apologize. So verses 1 through 2, Aaron and his sons, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, they were to be priests and wear holy garments for God's glory. So remember, they created the tabernacle. Well, God instructed them to create the tabernacle. And only the high priest was allowed to enter the most holy place. Because remember, Jesus didn't die for their sins yet. So this is how they were to have access to God. And so in this chapter, God tells them how to create the garments. So I'm pretty sure, that's what's going on here. I did reference the enduring word quite a bit. Like I mentioned before, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to go check that out because it has really good information. Verses 3 through 4, the Lord has given us gifts for his glory. So if you are really organized, for example, and maybe there's somebody else in your life who's not, and you're thinking, I wish they were more organized. God gives us certain gifts, and all the time. If you're really good at something, it's because God has gifted you to be that good at something. So we can't expect that same level from someone else, and maybe they're not gifted in that area. You know what I mean? If I were to play an instrument, it would go really bad. I'm not gifted in singing, playing instruments, anything like that, anything musical. And so, God has given us all certain gifts, but remember, it's for his glory. It's not for us so that we can look good and important. It's to give glory to him. And I just thought of that with these verses 3 through 4. The verses 5 through 14, the ephod, and I looked this up. It's a garment made of gold, blue, and purple, scarlet thread. And I got that from the Enduring Word. And the sons of Israel, not Jacob, the names were to be written on onyx stones and placed on the shoulders of the ephod. So 6 names on one shoulder, 6 names on the other. And I wrote the sons of Israel, not Jacob. If you have read up until now, maybe you remember in Genesis, everything that Jacob went through and everything that he did, that wasn't exactly the greatest. And God called him Israel. He didn't identify him by his mistakes. He identified him by what God sees him as. And God does that for us too. No matter what anyone tells you, God sees you and values you as a person. And he loves you so much. He calls you by what he sees you as, not what you see yourself as, not what other people define you as. Verses 15 through 30, the breastplate of judgment was attached to the ephod. It had 4 rows of 3 gemstones, which had the names of the 12 tribes. So Urim and Thummim, definitely butchering that, I apologize. So I definitely did some research on that, and scholars are not exactly sure what that means. But whatever it is, discern the will of God. And the Enduring Word even said something to the extent of, scholars think it was 2 stones, and it would be worn on the high priest, and they would reach into I can't remember what the Enduring Word said. I wish I had, it right next to me. I apologize for that. Go ahead and read that. But it said, they would reach into a bag or something like that, and they would pull it out, and the stone would either say yes or no. And that's how they discern the will of God. So again, I don't take the Holy Spirit for granted at all. I so appreciate that God gives us that discernment and that wisdom. We all have access to that, which is very cool. Verses 31 through 35, the robe had bells to identify where the priest was in the most holy place, because of course only the priest can enter. And then verses 36 through 38, holiness to the Lord was written, was written in the front of the turban. So a tunic, turban, and sash made of fine linen was to be made for Aaron's sons to have special clothing. And they were to be anointed, consecrated, and sanctified. So God specified that. And the Enduring Word, again, I know I've said this so many times. Please go read the Enduring Word summary of Exodus 28. It'll give you so much more depth than anything that I could have said today. But one thing in particular was at the end of the Enduring Word specifies how Jesus did not have this gold garments and fine linen when he was on the cross. When he was on the cross, he was beaten. He was not clothed like this, obviously. He was hungry. He was in pain. It was difficult. And he did that for us. And so, you know, it's just so humbling that our God would do something like that for us. So please go ahead and read the enduring word on Exodus 28. I have a little plant down here. It's hard to see, but thank you so much for watching. I post a new Bible study video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And these Study the Whole Bible with Me series is posted every Friday at 7 a.m. I think I have a few new subscribers, and I've been getting that question a lot recently. So the Study the Whole Bible with Me series is every single Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. And I can't wait to study the Bible with you again. Bye.